Reolink cameras have always been a great balance between new features and great local storage support. Back in 2022, I took a look at their eagle-eyed Duo series of cameras. Now today we're going to be looking at the third generation of the Duo series, the Duo 3 Power over Ethernet. This camera doesn't just double the resolution of the original Duo, it actually 4x's it, with dual 4K lenses. And on top of that, it comes with motion tracking, smart detection, and even more. So stay tuned as we explore how the Reolink Duo 3 sets a new standard in monitoring and security for your home. Welcome to the Smart House. I'm Ryan, and if you love staying ahead with the latest in smart home technology and projects, then you've come to the right place. Today we're going to be diving into the third generation of the Reolink Duo camera, a truly unique system with its owl-like dual camera sensors that watch over your home day and night. Now, I've actually relied on the original Reolink Duo paired with my Reolink RL8 NVR. This has been guarding the front of my house for over 2 years now. It's been really nice to know that I've got 24/7 coverage of anything going on out there while I'm away. Now, I apologize for how I sound. One of my kids brought home some bug from school, but we're going to power through it. So today we're going to explore the latest incarnation, the Duo 3. Now, I didn't get a chance to check out the Duo version 2, but the Duo 3 ramps up the features even over that. So let's kick it off by examining what features have stayed consistent along all of the Duo series and what's dramatically improved. So as we dive into the new Reolink Duo 3, let's talk about what hasn't really changed across the entire generation of Duo cameras. So first up, let's look at the form factor. Now, if you look at these cameras side by side, you really couldn't tell which one's which. It's actually been kind of difficult doing these reviews. I have to actually check out the back where it tells me exactly the model number and the name of the camera. But all these generations have the same robust plastic construction, ensuring durability and really a premium feel. Now, this is actually one of the spare cameras that I had from the original Duo series, so this is why it looks so clean and nice. But the one that's been up for the last 2 years is still looking pretty good and really hasn't had any problems. Now, the dual lenses aren't just for show. They offer a sweeping 180-degree field of view, ensuring you miss nothing. And whether it's day or night, these cameras can handle it. They've got integrated infrared emitters for black and white night vision and powerful spotlights for color visibility in the dark. And let's not forget about two-way audio. While the original Duo did have this feature, the Duo 3 takes it a step further with enhanced speakers and microphones for clearer audio communication.
This is a microphone test from about 10 feet away.
Whether it's warning off a prowler or chatting up with a delivery person, these upgrades make things much clearer. Now, security isn't just visual, it also is about making noise when it counts. So both versions come with an integrated siren and use the spotlights to deter unwanted visitors. Now, the installation remains versatile, with ⅛ mounts on both the bottom and the top of the cameras. Now, previously, I had some issues with the original camera mounting via the top mount, and ironically, when I checked out the instructions, I found out why, because I was using the mount incorrectly. So now I've remounted the version 3 camera with the correct mounting configuration, and it works much better. I guess I should have read the manual to begin with. Of course, if you have an existing mount or you want to use something else, generations support the gold standard for security cameras, Power over Ethernet. This gives you reliable connectivity and power. Now, all the other Duo generations have had a Wi-Fi and a battery and solar powered variant. So I can assume that Reolink is planning on releasing one of those for the Duo 3 series as well. Now, of course, this being an outside camera, they're built to withstand just about anything the elements can throw at them. Both cameras boast an IP66 rating for superior water and dust resistance, and they claim to have an operational temperature range of 14 degrees Fahrenheit to positive 131. Now, that seems a little conservative because I know my original Duo series has seen negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit. So I would take that with a grain of salt. It probably can go a lot lower, especially because these versions don't have batteries on board. Now, while the new Duo 3 brings a lot to the table, it's clear that at the core of what made the original Duo so reliable and popular still remains intact. This continuity ensures that upgrading or expanding your security system with Reolink products will always be seamless. Now let's move on to what's new and improved, so stick around as we delve into the exciting upgrades with the version 3 series. And just as a quick reminder that if you found anything helpful in this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing for more helpful content. Now let's get on to the new features. So let's continue our deep dive into what sets this new model apart from the predecessor. Now, starting with the sensor, Reolink didn't just move to the standard 4K resolutions, they actually pushed boundaries into a stunning 16 megapixel picture with a resolution of 7680 by 2160. Now, if you're quick with math, that's 2 times the standard 4K resolution. Now, this is a bit of an unconventional resolution, but it's precisely what allows this camera to capture such an incredible amount of details. So let's break down why this resolution enhances your security footage beyond the typical 4K. This extra wide image really lets you capture everything happening in your yard in one shot. So you get the best of both worlds. The 180-degree field of view gives you a wide view of the scene, but the 4K resolution on each camera lets you zoom in to capture things happening way off in the distance. So next, let's move on to the dual lenses and sensors. So while the first Duo introduced us to the power of side-by-side sensors, the Duo 3 merges these into a single cohesive wide view. Now this was available on the Duo 2, but this is my first exposure to it. And unlike the original Duo, the version 2 and 3 both consume only one slot on your NVR, letting you add 7 additional cameras on something like the RL8. Now on that same topic, all the storage options have seen a significant upgrade. The Duo 3 now supports up to a 256GB micro SD card in this secured slot here on the bottom. That doubles the capacity from the Duo 1. And for those of you who are big fans of local streaming and storage, it supports RTSP, RTMP, ONVIF, and you can also send clips directly to an FTP server. The Reolink cameras give you total control over your home or even your business's surveillance.
Now, one of the really neat features that the Duo 3 adds is what they call motion track, and it's not what you would normally expect. This feature will actually show you motion events compressed into a single image. So instead of sending you a video clip, it will actually send you a single image that uses the onboard AI to generate a summary of all the motion that happened during that time. Now, one thing to note, this only functions directly on the Duo 3 right now, so you actually have to have the camera connected to your local network, not directly to the NVR. However, this feature is coming soon to the NVR. And the second requirement is that the notification is only sent this way via email. So you have to go in and set up email notifications in the Reolink app. Then you'll get a periodic email every time one of these events take place.
Now speaking of upgrades, the newest Reolink NVR hardware revision, like on the RLN 8410, are now designed to work seamlessly with 16 megapixel cameras. And unlike the original Duo, you can actually generate time lapses when connected to the NVR. On the version 1, you could only do this if you were storing it directly to the SD card and not using an NVR. The Duo 3 enhances its detection capabilities with a smarter processor that not only recognizes people and vehicles more accurately, but also adds pet detection. All of this on board the camera. Plus, you can even adjust the sensitivity of each of these detections to fit your particular needs. Now, all these detectable events are easily searchable on either the NVR or the onboard storage, simplifying your review process and making it quicker to find the footage that matters the most. Now, I have noticed some issues on my original hardware revision, RLN8, with exporting large amounts of footage. Hopefully that's fixed on this new version. And finally, we have improved integrations with your favorite smart assistants like Google and Alexa. And if you have a display on your assistant like the Google Nest display, you can ask your assistant to bring up the footage for quick viewing. I use this all the time when I'm watching for my kid's bus to show up. So as we wrap up our deep dive into the Reolink Duo 3, let's talk about the bottom line, price. This camera comes with an MSRP of $189.99 US. However, if you move quickly and snag the pre-order, you can save $40 right off the top. Make sure you check the pinned comment down below for the latest sale updates that I receive. If you'd like an in-depth breakdown of all the different features between the Duo 1, 2, and 3, check out the blog post on my website that has a comparison chart along with all the other details of this video. Now, keep in mind the Wi-Fi and battery-powered versions of the camera will cost a bit more than the base unit. But given the enhanced convenience and flexibility they offer, I think that cost is justified. Now, at this price point, the Reolink Duo 3 really sits comfortably along its competitors. But it offers advanced features like the 16 megapixel dual 4K resolution and smart detection all on board, which you typically find on much pricier models. Now, let's really quickly look at why you might or might not want to pick up this camera. Now, one of the disadvantages of this camera is, of course, it's a fixed camera, so there's no pan, tilt, zoom options available. There are other cameras from Reolink and other competitors that have this capability, but I really find that I don't use the pan tilt all that much unless it's on the corner of my house. Especially where this camera is located, it sits next to a tree, so really turning to the left won't give you much of anything. But having a fixed camera does give you the ability to see the entire scene at once and no moving around, so you don't miss anything. Another big advantage of this camera is the super bright spotlights. These are much brighter than some of the other ones on the market, so you really could use it as both a deterrent and a spotlight, say for your driveway. And finally, the fact that this comes packed with a ton of features like power over Ethernet, local storage, local streaming, all make this a smart home enthusiast's dream. I know I love integrating these directly into my Home Assistant instance, and I've actually done an entire video on how to set up both the cameras and the NVRs in Home Assistant. You can check out that video right up here or in the description. One of the distinct advantages of running things over PoE is it's a single cable, and it also prevents you from running into Wi-Fi disconnect attacks. Especially with tools becoming easier and easier to get a hold of, those type of attacks are becoming more common. And without onboard storage, a Wi-Fi camera can be almost worthless if you have a very sophisticated attacker. So with all those great features, why might you not want to get this camera? Well, the first thing is the ease of setup. Now, it is very easy to set up in my opinion, but it's not as easy as some of the battery-powered pre-made kits that are available like from Eufy. This is especially true if you go with Power over Ethernet and an NVR. You'll have to run the wire to the location, run it back to the NVR, plug the NVR someplace in a closet or a basement, and then actually get the NVR set up with a keyboard and monitor. It is quite simple to set up these cameras via the app. You actually don't have to do anything other than plug the camera into one of the ports on the NVR, and the camera is automatically set up. And you can access all the main features through the Reolink app. But if you want to add features like web access, RTSP, or RTMP, you actually have to physically connect to the NVR and make those changes with a keyboard and a monitor. But that being said, for this price point, you get a ton of features, plus these cameras are rock solid. Like I said before, I've had zero issues with my Duo camera. It's been sitting out there on the corner of my house for 2 years, and I've really ended up using it for quite a bit of footage, especially with fights between neighbors. So whether you're looking to upgrade your home security system or you're starting fresh, the Reolink Duo 3 offers compelling features at a competitive price. It's designed to keep you and your loved ones safer and more connected. Plus, if you wanted to expand past the Power over Ethernet, it's very easy to add a Wi-Fi or battery camera later on. So again, I want to thank you for joining me on this detailed look at the Reolink Duo 3, and a big thank you to Reolink for their constant support and sending me this camera to take a look at. It was nice to catch up with them at CES this year, and I'm looking forward to all the new stuff they have coming out through the rest of 2024. Now, if you want to pick up one of these cameras, I've got links down in the description, and of course those links go to help the channel. Again, keep an eye on the pinned comment for any new sale information that I find. And if you want to take a look at all of my other camera review videos, I've got a full dedicated playlist right over here. And this playlist over here is all of my Reolink reviews. Again, don't forget to check out the NVR and Home Assistant integration. It'll add a ton of features to your smart home and gives you the capability of viewing your cameras inside of Home Assistant, which is really functional. So thank you again for making it this far, and I'll see you on the next video.